Today, I would like to introduce to you the XTZ M8 speaker. Now, many of you probably know the XTZ brand by their Class T amplifier that I reviewed many years ago. Now, XTZ did not reach out to me for this review, but it was by accident I came across this speaker in a showroom the other day. Now, the Canadian distributor, Le Studio du Son, happens to watch my channel and they offer me to take it home from that showroom. Now, if you see a speaker like this with 6 tweeters, how can you not say yes? Yes, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is the XTZ M8 speaker a Tecton knockoff, or more importantly, a Tecton killer? I bet all of you know the Tecton brand, but for the odd chance you have been living on an island and have just returned to civilization, the Tecton speakers are also known to use a tweeter array. Think about it, right? Why only limit to 1 tweeter when you can have a dozen? Sure, not the best for wife approval factor, so make sure you polish your negotiation skills with your significant other before placing an order. Now, I did ask the Canadian distributor if Tecton and the XTZ M8 are like cousins or whatever. Here is their response. We don't use technology that infringes on that patent. Our speakers were developed and launched prior to that patent. So the email was a bit longer, but I guess that is the key, right? That's what's important. So given XTZ does not use the same technology as Tecton, do they still sound similar? The short answer is nope. Sadly, the last time I listened to a Tecton speaker was many years ago, so I cannot tell you how they compare precisely. I can, however, say that it is not a Tecton killer because based on my memory, the Tecton feels like a speaker made for 2-channel stereo listening as a priority, while the XTZ M8 feels more like a speaker made for both movies and music. After all, this is the XTZ Cinema series. Now, I will elaborate further in this video, but I will start by saying this. Out of all the speakers I've tried at my home till now, and that is like over 100 pairs, from $100 to 20,000, when it comes to bass, dynamic output, like knocking out your teeth kind of bass, the M8 is easily top 5. Just that alone, if you're a bass maniac, you can go to the website and hit the checkout button. Now, what if you're not a bass lover and mid-range is your #1 priority? Well, my audio buddies, today, let's talk about the XTZ M8 speaker. Now, XTZ is located in Sweden and has been around for about 20 years. 3 years ago, they sent me a Class D amplifier called the Edge A2-300, and that video got over 240,000 views. Must be because I put the word best in the title. Man, every time I put the word best in the title, the views tend to be off the charts. I should have titled this video the best 16 driver speaker I've ever tried, and I bet you I'll get over 200,000 views. Well, you can't say I'm lying because it is the only 16 driver speakers I've ever tried. Alright, enough joking. From my understanding, out of the 6 tweeters, only 1 tweeter is handling the high frequency, while the rest of the 5 tweeters deal with the mid-range. Now, one of the advantages listed on their website is by having this tweeter array, voice reproduction is very clean, even in an acoustically unoptimized room. Now, I can't talk to that because, well, my room is treated. However, if you are curious, check out their website. Now, the M8 also comes with 2 8-inch paper cone woofers in a Dapolito formation, meaning the tweeter is in between the 2 big drivers, like the Q Acoustic Concept 500. Now, this Dapolito configuration, whenever I have a speaker like this, I notice the soundstage tends to be fairly deep. So the M8, just like my Concept 500 speakers, have a very deep soundstage. Next, at the back of the speaker, you have a switch that allows you to either increase or decrease the tweeter level slightly. Between the highest and lowest setting, I can hear a difference. The Concept 500 speaker has something similar, but that one, I can't really hear a big difference. For music listening, music primarily, With vocals, I prefer to set the M8 to -2 dB for the tweeter because the speaker sounds smoother. Finally, the speaker comes with a sponge plug to close the port if you prefer a tighter bass. If you want more extended bass, you just need to remove the port plug. It does make a big difference. And the speaker has a sensitivity of 91 dB, and according to the website, it has a nominal impedance of 4 to 8 ohm. So let's just say this is a 4 ohm speaker. The price is $3,500 USD a pair. So how does it sound? Well, overall, neutral. But you can play with the treble switch to increase the brightness or make it smoother, which gives you a lot of flexibility. Now, I don't feel any frequencies are exaggerated, and overall, it is balanced, especially if you seal the port. Now, I'm going to start first with two areas where I think there's room for improvement. I will only mention it once, so please pay attention. First, I wish it was a bit more refined. Its refinement is a bit like the Gustard S400 level, so not a deal breaker for many of you. The second, the mid-range, from my understanding, is produced by the rest of the 5 tweeters, right? So it does sound different than a traditional speaker. I do wish that it had a bit more clarity and focus. Most speakers I have tend to lock the center image solidly. Some are so solid that I can see the lips of the singer, but not in this case. So, okay, let me shift to the positives. Remember I say I wish the center image was more focused? Well, there are pros and cons to this because now instead I have a pretty big sweet spot. So even if I move my head to the left or the right from the center, I can see and feel the center image. Location, while more traditional speakers, I tend to lose that center image as I shift my head left or right. Now, I remember once getting an email from a subscriber. He wished his friend can all enjoy that sweet spot when they listen to music together. Well, with a speaker like this, your sweet spot is bigger, right? Next, the soundstage. The Polito configuration, as I mentioned, meaning the tweeter in between the two woofers. The soundstage is pretty good. In this case, good width and very deep soundstage. What really stood out is that you get that big wall of sound effect. Almost reminds me of Manapan, right? Not pinpoint, but a wall of sound. Vocal will lean towards the smoother side if you put the treble settings to -2. The bass will be one of the main reasons for you to buy these speakers. Very dynamic and strong. You play that song, Make It Stronger from Ghost Rider, and the foundation of your house will shake. It is not just one note bass, there's good texture and control in the bass. Sure, you can add a subwoofer if you want your system to go deeper, but I think for most people, it is more than enough. Now, if you put these THX approved speakers next to any other speaker in its price range, it will most likely destroy the other speakers when it comes to bass punch. Sure, it might not go as deep as the $20,000 Focal Sopra 2, for example, but it's pretty close. When it comes to bass punch only though, okay? Next, the speaker is heavy because it's made of high density fiber board instead of MDF. Great for those of us who equate weight to quality. The more heavy it is, the better it is. Now, maybe with the cabinet's unique trapezoidal, is that how you pronounce it, shape, it tends to do a decent job of disappearing in my room. Finally, if you're one of those who love to share your music, your love for music with your neighbor's neighbor by blasting your sound system, these speakers can reach pretty loud volume. Maybe they should put a warning on the box, you know? Buying these speakers will have the potential to shake your neighbor's house. So why is it not a Tecton speaker killer? Now, based on my limited experience with Tecton, you use those speakers for music listening as priority. Because for me, at least based on my memory, the center image is very solid. Well, solid enough. While the XTZ are both more for movies and music with priority given to movies. If you're someone shopping for a speaker, 60% for movies, 40% for music, yeah, then these should be on your audition list, especially if you're someone who watches movies in the dark. Why? The speaker is coated with anti-reflection paint. Now, those of you who own home cinema with a projector should understand how important that is. I love it when a company puts a lot of attention to detail. In closing, if you are in Montreal, you will be able to audition them by reaching out to Le Studio's Son. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, this was a great experience because I was able to satisfy my curiosity about how a multi-array speaker would sound, and I had a lot of fun listening to bass-heavy music or music that has a big soundstage, like orchestra, for example. Now, I wish they sent me the center channel too, so I could have experienced it watching a movie in all its glory. In short, if you're looking for a home theater and music listening solution, this might be the solution you are looking for. Or if you're looking for a music-only listening solution and you love your low frequency, this also might be a good solution for you. If you get a chance to audition them, make sure you ask whoever is demoing it to put some bass-heavy track. I guarantee you, you will have a big smile on your face. All right, guys, so I'll see you next time.
I never